Hi everyone, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your weekly report for April 25th, 2022. If you could please subscribe to my channel, I would be indebted to you forever and very grateful. If you could please share and like my videos, that would be awesome. We have so much happening. There are 5 points transiting in the mutable water sign of Pisces, which is very dreamy and creative and imaginative, but it can make you feel very scattered and directionless at times. Juno, which is an asteroid of partnering, just entered Pisces on April 20th, where it will transit until January 12th of 2023. That's partnering with imagination and with suspending disbelief that you really can magnetize dreams. And it's partnering with the dream and with love. Mars is transiting in Pisces, spiritual practice, but also restoring and getting rest. Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, the planet of dreams and imagination. Jupiter, the ancient ruler of Pisces, the planet of vision and opportunity. Venus, the planet of love, money and value and beauty, is exalted in Pisces, transiting in this lovely placement, but can make you feel very creative and inspired. It can also make you feel very scattered. So you may vacillate in very many different directions throughout the day because it's a very mutable sign, very adaptable, and it rules the ocean, which is boundless sea, boundless water, uncontainable. So during the week of April 25th, it's more the big news is the eclipse and the Pluto station. But on April 26th, Mercury, the planet of communication, forms a helpful aspect to Jupiter, the planet of abundance and good fortune, at 10:11 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on April 27th at 1:11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Good for positive communication, good for positive thinking, good for journaling your intentions. It's going to be a wild week. On April 27th, Venus and Neptune meet up in the sky at 3:12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Venus is exalted in Pisces, very creative and lovely placement of Venus. Neptune is the modern ruler, the planet of imagination and altruism, and together they can be very romantic, very creative, and very inspired. Can be confusing sometimes, but I think there's such a purity and love to that energy. It can be very sensitive energy. On April 20, let's see, so then as we get further into the week, on April 29th, Pluto, the planet of power, death, and regeneration, stations retrograde at 28 degrees and 36 minutes of the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn. That's a big deal. We feel that energy 5 days before and 5 days after. That can bring major exits, major beginnings. It can uncover information because Pluto can be hidden secrets, but it's just going to be a drama that's added to the week of an eclipse. I just did a video on the eclipse, and I didn't even mention that Pluto retrograded the day before, but I mentioned it in all of the monthly videos, and we'll definitely feel the intensity. It's hard to discern when so much is going on at once. Is it the Pluto station? I think the eclipses will be even bigger, but because Pluto retrogrades every year. But we have a partial solar eclipse on April 30th at 10 degrees and 28 minutes of the fixed earth sign of Taurus that occurs at 4:28 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that is that's a big deal. It's not a total solar eclipse, so the sun, moon, and the earth are not perfectly aligned, but the moon covers part of the sun's disk, and it is a new moon on steroids. It is a time to set intentions and plant new seeds, but unlike the average monthly new moon, that's really a time of setting intentions or initiating new beginnings. Definitely work with that energy, but there's much more of a frenetic, harried, crazed energy to the eclipse. So it's, there can be major endings with solar eclipses, and I've seen them. There can be major beginnings with lunar eclipses, and I've seen them as well. Eclipses come in pairs, so we are going to have a total lunar eclipse in the middle of May, which has a lot more intensity to it. And on the day of the new moon eclipse, so it is a new moon, work with the magic, but if you're trying to initiate something new, kind of wait to see all the messages. There are going to be so many messages and information getting uncovered. Eclipses bring things to light. They make us see things. They want us to change. They want us to move ahead. They don't want us to be stagnant, and we will not stay stagnant this summer with all this energy. And the eclipses are in the Taurus Scorpio axis. You go more towards the North Node, where it's transiting in Taurus and has been since the middle of January and will be through July of 2023, through, I believe it's July 18th, but the middle of July of next year. The North Node in Taurus, finding new ways to make money, to be creative, to develop your resources. The South Node is transiting in the opposite sign, which is the fixed water sign of Scorpio. Taurus is banking and income, resources, possessions, and creativity, as well as value system. Scorpio is joint resources, definitely a house of money. It can be investments and financial partnerships and joint resources, but it also represents debt and taxes, those fun things we all have to deal with at points. And it also is a very emotional and psychological house, dealing with intimacy, dealing with sexuality, dealing with loss and blocked wounds and pain that you haven't dealt with. So a lot of focus on money with these eclipses and resources, but also in empowering yourself in purging and releasing the pain and loss that everybody has experienced at this point in this time in history in the last couple of years. The South Node eclipse coming up in the middle of May, purging the blocks. The moon is very intense in Scorpio, whereas on the day of the new moon eclipse on April 30th, the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus. In Scorpio, it's in its fall position. It's a heavy placement, very heavy, dramatic emotions, painful emotions. In Taurus, it loves being in Taurus. Very creative, very fertile, very fun placement, sensuous placement of the moon. And Venus and Jupiter will meet up on the day of the new moon eclipse at 5:14 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And they set off where, so Jupiter's transiting in Pisces, but it does enter the cardinal fire sign of Aries on May 10th, and it will transit there until October 28th. It will return to the last 2 degrees of Pisces on from October 28th through December 20th. So on the day of the partial solar eclipse, Venus and Jupiter, both in lovely placement, are where Jupiter is going to reach at the end of the year. Jupiter will go back as far as 28 degrees, so it's very close. So expanding what you're trying to magnetize with all of this Pisces, we are still working with that magical Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, which occurred on April 9th through April 12th. It peaked at 23 degrees and 59 minutes of the mutable water sign of Pisces, expanding through the dream and through selfless love and believing that dreams are possible and working with the divine collective. And that energy is emphasized in this as well. Venus and Jupiter are just a few degrees or 4 degrees off from that lovely conjunction. And what was the other thing? That, it's just going to be a lot of reveals, a lot of, a lot happening, and just preparing yourself, because it's a lot of excitement, but do things to center yourself, because a lot of planets transiting Pisces during all of this can feel very scattered. Mercury is at 0 degrees of Gemini on the day of the solar eclipse, delivering a lot of information, but it retrogrades on May 10th. and it slows down. So, and it enters its shadow a few days after. So, you know, a lot of information. New moon conjunct Uranus, the great awakener. A lot of unexpected reveals, but also a lot of liberation from things. And eclipses bring big life events, announcements of new jobs or promotions, loss of jobs or getting fired, announcement of a marriage or a divorce or a birth of a baby, a big move, a sale of a house, big life events. So it's a big time. Work with a dream. Good luck and take care. And on May 1st, Mercury and Pluto work in tandem and they work together. And that's good for up-leveling your thoughts during a very busy time. Thank you so much.